Chad Hymas here. Welcome to this week's Roll with Safety Tip. Welcome back. This week's going to be a very special tip coming to you not from my voice or from my lips, but from a dear friend of mine, co-founder and CEO of Success Magazine, Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy interviewed me a while back and gave 4 key principles that allow people to do extraordinary things, to overcome obstacles, ways that you and I can be happy. What causes people? What are some of the commonalities that allow companies to reach zero harm? What allows somebody to endure and rise to the top when they go through a challenging or a tragedy in their life? I want you to listen closely to what Darren Hardy says here in this clip, and hope that you enjoy it.
Every day, one of us faces obstacles. Rich, poor, young, old, ugly, beautiful. No one avoids obstacles. It's how you choose to deal with them that determines your ultimate destiny. Obstacles, even as small and as simple as a traffic jam that makes you late, misplacing your keys, or missing a call from an important client, stubbing your toe, having a bad hair day, whatever. In the moment, it can seem as if your world is coming to an end. That's one way to experience these obstacles, but not the way of the achiever. In spending time with thousands of high-performing achievers, I've noticed the commonality to how they choose to experience and triumph over obstacles, both small and big. Since obstacles will be a constant along your path to greater success, happiness, and joy, let me equip you with a strategy to overcome them, simply and with grace. Let me give you 4 points to triumphing over obstacles. Number 1 is this: get a grip. Know first off that you are not special in regards to obstacles. Achievers know that life will always be filled with travails, inconveniences, and big and hairy challenging problems. Just deal with it gracefully. Now that you know that you aren't special, it is important to know how fortunate you really are and gain some perspective. I have been honored to spend time with some of the most amazing people on the planet, many of which who have been dealt with some of the most devastating of obstacles. Trust me, what you and I have suffered, have been victim to, is nothing by comparison. And yet, they have gone through it with grace, without complaint, and then have gone on to do more than you and I have, with nothing to whine, gripe, or complain about. Have you been dealt a blow recently? Are you hosting a pity party because of it? Go visit a local burn unit, a homeless shelter, or just take a short drive over to the other side of the tracks. And you know what? Pity party over. Here's number 2. Control the controllable. This has been a sanity saver for me. Atlas used to be my hero, the guy who's such a stud that he could carry the whole world on his back. Admirable, but burdensome. I learned to shrug. A wink, I think, to my Ayn Rand friends. I took Obama, healthcare, reform, global warming, gas prices, the economy, even my wife, friends, and family off my back. If I can't control it, just let it go. Any aspect of it that I can control or can influence, like voting or saving energy or building my business or changing my behavior, is the only thing that I focus on dealing with. That eliminates 99.99% of what most people worry, fret, and agonize over. Phew, relief at last. By releasing control over circumstances, you gain more control over your life. This is especially important when it comes to dealing with obstacles. Take a look at the situation and ask yourself, what part of this can I control? Then let go of everything else, and voila! 99.99% of all the mental and emotional burden is lifted up off of you, and you are just left to act on that 0.1%, which is usually just you and your response reaction. As Jim Rohn taught me, what happens to you doesn't determine your destiny. What happens to you happens to all of us. It's how you respond to what happens to you that determines your destiny. Here's number 3. Ask for help. Asking for help will not only lighten your burden, but it will also empower those who help you. People want to be of value. They want to know that they matter to you. Being able to help you helps them feel important and be important. Give others that gift by asking others to help you more often. And number 4 is this: just keep moving. Sometimes just continuing to move is all we can do. but it's enough. Just focus on the next step ahead. That's it, that's all. I remember my interview with Chad Hymas. Chad was injured in a serious accident, paralyzing all 4 of his limbs, leaving him with only the use of his wrists and fractional use of his biceps. It takes him over 2 hours just to get dressed in the morning. Yet he travels even more than I do, speaking over 200 times a year in now 38 countries and 7 continents. Chad also wheeled his chair with his wrists over 500 miles through the desert to set a world record. And I whine and moan about running 10 miles? Chad shared that in his extraordinary 513-mile wheelchair trek through the desert that he used this strategy. He did just what was in front of him. He said, I couldn't count the mile markers. I had to take it one highway stripe at a time. When faced with your own difficult obstacles, instead of trying to figure out the solution to the entire problem, just continue to move and focus only on the next step, the next stripe on the pavement. Navy SEALs have a mantra that they use when they're under stress, when self-doubt or that little voice suggesting that you should quit creeps in. They say, not dead, can't quit. Navy SEAL veteran Richard said this to me. He said, a man or woman can only be defeated in 2 ways, if he or she gives up or if he or she dies. So, are you stuck? Not sure what to do? Just keep moving forward. One single, small as it may be, step at a time. If you're not dead, don't quit. Just keep moving. Here's what I want you to do. Share in the comments below the greatest obstacle you are faced with right now and how you plan to overcome it using the outline that I just gave you.
Welcome back. I hope you take heart, or take to heart what Darren Hardy just said. Until next week, this is Chad Hymas asking each one of you to roll with safety.